You are watching Global CEO Magazine, your window into innovative leadership that drives Sri Lanka forward. So today we are very privileged to have with us a pioneer in the technology industry. She is Mrs. Manoja Jayawardhana, CEO of Automated Barcode Solutions. She has more than 30 years of experience in management, marketing, human resource management, business management, and project management. So she has more than 20 years experience in the automatic identification industry in designing and system analysis, project implementation, and project management. She is also a chartered management accountant and she has worked in many large organizations in Sri Lanka as a senior manager before becoming the CEO of ABSL. It's such a pleasure to have you here with us, ma'am. Thank you for joining us here today. So without taking much time, let's dive right into the very first question. So you have more than 20 years of experience in this automatic identification industry. So how, within this very long period of time, how have you seen this industry evolve?
Thank you so much for inviting me for this interview, and it's a privilege to be here sitting and discussing about the solutions and my experience. It is actually almost 25 years in automatic identification industry in Sri Lanka, so which is a substantial time, I think quarter of a century. So basically what I've seen is when I started working, basically that was about 35 years back. I started working as a school leaver. So when I started working, we were working on the ledgers and then writing down things manually, and then we haven't even seen a computer. So we used to visualize what a computer and a computer system is, and then I have armed that person from that to this level, to run a company as a CEO of an IT company. So starting from very humble beginnings and as an accountant, basically in the field of accountancy, so up to a CEO, it's so much that I have seen in various stages of my life, and also in the country, like where we were emerging. I think we have evolved and we have reached to a very great extent in technology and in the industry of IT. And I've been privileged to see I have a big corporate clientele. So I have worked with many corporates and very, very high profiled IT professionals. And it was quite challenging, and I think as a self-learner in IT, so and to become a CEO of an IT company, that was something that not many people are privileged to have.
So in the past couple of years, we saw a massive progress in the AI industry when it comes to artificial intelligence. So how do you, what trends do you foresee in the industry? How do you see those trends shaping the future?
When you take artificial intelligence, I would say we are, as Sri Lanka, as a country, we are not reached up to a very high level of applying those in Sri Lanka as yet. But we are working on those. The artificial industry is the future, and we all know that there will be a lot of developments and a lot of areas that we can introduce artificial intelligence industry to develop and achieve a lot of things which cannot be done using the other technologies. So we have to look forward for that future, and then we have to implement measures, and then we have to understand what the artificial industry is all about. I think the first thing is that we need to understand what it is and what it can do. Basically, even we do solutions where AI is built in, so which helps most of the time. I think when you take COVID, during that time all the people started working from home, most of the people. And unfortunately for me, like working from home is not something that I can do, because we are working with both hardware and software. So but then most of the software people and then admin or like whoever the people, this is, I'm just giving a simple example. So we all started working from home. So even now the trend is like people like to work from home, because thinking that it reduces a lot of costs as well. Like when you take it as a company or an organization, that helps in reducing costs as well. But so when we started working, like there were no ways to monitor them. Like you can just say you just try to switch on your computer and then you just go on everywhere and then you sleep, eat, do whatever you like, and then things like that. But then with AI built-in solutions right now, so like how you can monitor someone working from home, whether that person has just kept the computer on and then is going somewhere. So there are ways to monitor them. So likewise, say when you take cameras and then the CCTV integrations and all that, so we can monitor people, like whether that person is coming like so many times for something that is not needed, and or else whether there can be sabotage. So we can build in AI to monitor whether there are, say, more than 5 or 10 people getting together and having discussions most of the time. So to patterns, and then see how people the emotions. So checking emotions, like whether you are happy or angry. You have a customer who's coming and then not happy at all with your service. So somebody wants to see like whether that customer is happy or not, angry or like whatever. So those things, of course, they are very, very much helpful to develop to get a feedback. Like you can't go and ask each and every customer whether you're happy. But if there are AI built-in solutions to monitor, like, and then understand the patterns, so those things will definitely help develop any industry or any organization. So I think there are so many applications where you can build in AI. So I think the future is will be more geared to introducing solutions in those areas. So I'm hopeful that Sri Lanka also will take it forward and then make use of it.
So this industry is a very fast-paced industry with AI and different innovations coming in every day. It must be quite challenging to keep up with the changes, and you must have faced a lot of difficulties when it comes to implementing all these new technology in your systems. So I'd like to know what were some of the biggest challenges that you have faced, and I'd very much like to know how you overcame these challenges.
Of course, yes. Like when you take technology, and especially the information technology, it's kind of it's a male-dominated field. So you don't get many people, many female participation in the field at all. Like you get so many graduates, so many IT graduates and the engineers and whatever. But in my industry now, since we are into automatic identification, we work with both hardware and software, as I said. So most of the time, it's actually you need to keep on learning. You need to keep on understanding the environment, and then how the technology is evolving globally, and how much you can position yourself in the industry. So that is the most challenging thing actually, because you you go for a meeting, you go for a presentation, you go to discuss a solution, like it's mostly the male participation what you see. So as a woman and like as an entrepreneur, and to sustain in the industry was very challenging, because especially in the early years, where people didn't know much about technology and how to automate, and what solutions are there to automate. So then we go and introduce solutions to reduce cost. So the human I mean, the most of the time I think the people think their job is threatened. So when you try to automate something and then try to introduce new technology, that's the first thing that comes into human mind. So I remember, like, there were so many situations where there was a lot of sabotage, and then they didn't allow us to implement solutions, and then there were so many issues we were facing, and then we cannot complete a project in time, and you know, like the various attitudes and that mindset. So those are very challenging things, and also learning every day to go and talk to a customer, and then where each customer has different requirements, especially since we are in the more into security related solutions. So you have to be very responsible. You should know what you're talking, you should know what you're doing. You can't go and say, no, I made a mistake, because the whole security of a building or a place, or like thousands of people, they all depend on our solutions. So what you see maybe outside is just a very small area of the total solution, because you only see hardware probably. You see some entrance control or something like that, but what you are doing with it, and also integrating various other systems to have security solutions in a very you know, tight manner, and to monitor and track back, and then to do audits, how this has been done, and if something goes wrong, how soon, how fast you can retrieve data, and then how fast you find out where it went wrong. So all those things are very challenging, I would say. So, like, it has not been easy, I should say that it has never been easy, but it's very interesting. I think the most interesting thing is technology, because you take any other industry, that those industries don't grow this fast. What we see today is not what we see tomorrow. What I've seen about a year back is not what we are talking today. We are like every day getting updated. There are new people coming in, there are new solutions being tested, and then you know, it's quite interesting.
Wonderful. So you just mentioned that when you bring in these automated systems, a lot of the times people are threatened, thinking that it's going to replace them. But these days we can see AI and different types of new technology in many aspects of our life, and whether we like it or not, it's going to, this AI and different new technology is going to become more involved in our life in the future as well. So you have extensive experience when it comes to project management and system analysis. So what is your approach when it comes to integrating AI in your business processes while maintaining efficiency and innovation?
It is like that is what we're doing every day. You know, that is what we're doing every day. Like whatever the solution that we're doing, it has to be scalable. So, like, it can't be something like, you know, I give you this solution today and you have to live with that rest of the life. Because if there is anything new coming up, we should be able to plug in and then give the customer the privilege of enjoying new technologies, new solutions. So whatever that I have been doing, we have been providing scalable solutions, and then so that is the part, you know, that's a secret. So being scalable, most of the time, like you give something proprietary, or you give something that has limitations in getting, because we give platforms. I sell solutions. I don't sell products, right? So if you sell products, the customer is going to get stuck with that product forever, which is not fair by the customer, because it's evolving every day. You get new things coming up, you get new technologies. So we should be geared to give the customer that space to introduce new things. So that is what I've been doing actually. So that is why I didn't fail. Like most of the time what happens is, like, people try to compete with the other person by doing the same thing, right? So which I never did. I don't do that. When someone comes and asks me about a solution, so I think it from the customer's point of view, not my point of view, that what I think is good. I give the customer to understand what he is doing. Sometimes we discuss on solutions for 6-7 months. So it goes on, like, at least sometimes it's about a year. So after 1 year we develop a solution. So from the day that until you deliver the solution, so there are again new things coming. So if you tell the customer, no, this is what I am going to give you, you buy this, which is not fair. Because, and also the customers also are aware of a lot of new things. They also go and do research. They also go and do their whatever the things that they want to find out, they will do that. So we have to be updated. Introducing AI. So we are talking about AI today. So what would be the next step? Like, when I introduced certain solutions in 2005, like I started my company in 2004. So when I introduced some solutions in 2005, it was basically futuristic. So that customer still uses the same solution because it was like actually looking at the future. So we have to, whatever we give has to be looking at the future and to be able to upgrade, scale up, and then to fill the gaps where the customer and our deliveries, if there is a gap, we should be able to fill that gap. So whatever the solution, whatever the new technology, it doesn't matter whether it comes in whatever the name. So it's a basic platform that we have to talk about in IT. That's what I believe.
So something that really stood out to me from the answer that you gave to the question was, you offer your customers solutions and not products, because in this very fast-paced industry, when you give the customer a product, they are stuck with it when technology changes. So that's something I really admire. And since you're the leader of this entire organization, ABSL, you're the leader of an organization who is in such a challenging industry, a very fast evolving industry. So as the leader, what strategies do you implement in your organization to make sure that your organization is sustainable and make sure that your organization keeps growing?
Yeah, I think the main thing is that you give freedom to the employees to think out of the box, and then when you take them, like I learn from them sometimes, and I think like they are, like most of them are young people, so they have the energy to work, and then if they are like looked after, and then if they are happy with what you are doing, so most of the time the managing a company is not that difficult. Like the freedom that you are giving to the employees to do something, and then delegating authority, and then you don't go to micromanage each and everything, and then tell them how to sit and eat and things like that probably. And then like if you give them freedom to deliver the whatever the outcome, what I expect. So as long as we all work together as a team. So, and then me being like the CEO doesn't mean that I'm just a CEO, but I work myself, right? because I like to work in a team. I always like to learn. So because of that, I think we have a very good teamwork, and I have employees who are like who have worked with me more than 15 years. So who have whom I can depend on. Very that dependability is a key thing, I think, in an organization. Like if you think that your people are not loyal, if you think that they are not up to their standard, so like how would you handle it? Because as a leader, the main thing I think is that looking after your own people, and we work as a team. We are not there to blame each and every person for each and every failure, because there are failures sometimes. I have had those kind of experiences in the past. So we have certain things when we try to deliver. So there are various issues from the customer side, as well as unexpected economical issues, political issues, various other factors also come into the picture when you start working, because it's not easy as you think. But how you balance yourself with all that? So because you have a personal life as well, so it's not that you are only you are a machine, or you are only doing one thing, but you have to have a work-life balance. You have to have give freedom, still restrict freedom certain times, and then where you want to apply your brakes when it's going at a speed that you cannot control, so you should know where to put the brakes. So all that mattered to work as a CEO, and then it has always been challenging. Like every moment is a challenging moment, and I think there is a huge risk in what you're doing, because but I think anything has a risk. So like you understanding the risk, and then facing it, and then not getting feared to take up a risk. So those are the things that makes us develop, as well as company develop. So those things, I think, risk and challenge and all those things are part of our lives, and how happy you are taking them up, and how happy to face a challenge, or how happy you are to take a risk is what it will make you a CEO. That's what I think.
Wonderful. So while it is important giving leadership to an organization, I think it's equally important to shape individuals in your team so that they can someday take over the role that you play and become leaders. So I'd like to ask you, how do you cultivate leadership within your team?
Of course, it has to be the case, because we are like teachers at times, mentors. So I try to shape up my people, like I was actually going to say children. So because sometimes they're like my own children. So because when young people come into the organization, they have no experience. They only have the theoretical knowledge. So from the point that they enter until they leave, so developing their personality and mentoring is part of my thing actually. I do it very happily, and when you take, I do mentoring for various other university students and all that. I haven't even seen them sometimes. So, and I have groups where I groom people, where I talk to people, and then I do it free of charge. Like I have so many groups where I try to train technical people who have not done technical courses or anything, because I'm a self-learner. So I like to give that knowledge back to the society, and how I groomed myself up. So that is part of my life. And so I think I put a lot of effort and time in developing the young people who come into my organization. So like most of the people that I get are basically the first, they come for the first job. So I see them like hundreds of people, young people working today in very, very good organizations, and like in very high positions and got educated, because I always push them to do some get some qualifications. So try to help them if they are financially not able. So I help. So I'm happy to see that most of the children are like in very good places, and they are always thankful. And then the best example is recently one of the engineers who left. He was telling me, no one is leaving you. Like they are always there for you, because like even now, if I have a project and then if I need people, more people, if I tell them, they'll come and work for me. So it's like that. So that's how you develop them, and then how you change their attitudes to get adapted to a corporate culture, and then how you personality is developing. So that's all part of working. Unfortunately, some of the like most of the children, I think they don't get it actually. They don't get it to the system, and also they don't want to be part of the system. So I think that's a culture that we got to develop, and which I'm doing.
So one small question, ma'am. As a current leader in this very fast-paced industry, what do you think are some important skills that the future leaders of this industry should develop?
I think the future, if you want to be a leader, the first you have to develop your attitudes. First develop your personality. First develop your knowledge. Learn every day. Learn from each and every person that you meet. There is something that you can take from every individual. Like it doesn't have to be someone above you. Like from the peer groups, from a person who's doing a minor job. So there are certain things that we can learn. So for that, actually you have to be very open-minded, and otherwise it's very difficult for you to learn. If you don't think that you don't know, you can't learn. That's what I believe. So more you learn, more you discipline yourself, and more you understand the world is changing and everything is changing. What you see a moment before is not what you see this moment. So, and then to take up whatever the failures as pillars of success. Like I myself have failed a few times in certain things. Like when you take the personal life or the whatever the things, sometimes the personal life things also affect your career. So if you want to develop a career, and if you want to be a leader, if you want to, everyone can do it. I think we are not superhumans, like not, but it's the way that you look at things, and how mindful you are, and then how humble you are to learn and move forward, and then how beautiful the world is. So if you try to think like this is something you can't do, I have all these things. No, it's not like that. Because in Sri Lanka, when you take Sri Lanka, there are no limitation for a woman to study to whatever the extent that you want to. Then there are no limitation for a woman to go and do a job, unless it's a physical factor. There is no limitation for any position. Like a woman can take over the world. Like woman can take over most of the challenges, absorb challenges, and whatever the the life, whatever the life gives, a woman is more challenging than a man. That's what I believe. So like there are no limitation in anything for anyone to learn here, and anyone to start up as a very, very small business. Like you start doing something very small. If you are doing something sustainable, and if you fail, if you don't give up, so that's the key. You can go up to any level. So that's what I feel. Like most of the time the people think you can't do this, and there are limitations. There are, I mean, it's restricted to women. No, there is nothing like that. It's your attitude, it's your will, it's your passion. It has to be your passion actually, whatever you do. So this technology is my passion. I do it as like I never get fed up of learning new things. I never get fed up of talking to a customer. I never get fed up of going and visiting a customer and then climbing about 13, 14 floors to see myself like what the security has to be. I don't get fed up looking at people coming in and going out, just standing for 2-3 hours. I like to watch them. I like to watch their movements. So it's all up to you.
So I think we had a lot of learnings to take from that answer. So as future leaders, you can be mindful of what you do, appreciate what's going on around you, learn from your failures and make them your pillars of success. So a lot of learnings that we got to take from that. So that brings us to the end of this very inspiring episode on Global CEO Magazine. Thank you very much for joining us today, ma'am. It was an honor to have you here with us. So we hope that you found this episode useful and valuable. So don't forget to subscribe for more exclusive interviews like this with leaders across Sri Lanka bringing about change in our nation. Thank you for watching.